Yali Madad, Faraz here. I hope you're all well. I hope you're staying home. I hope you're staying safe. So there's this wonderful teacher, spiritual teacher in America. He's no longer with us. His name was Ram Das. And one of his famous quotes was, if you think you're enlightened, go and spend a week with your family. And I think that's just so apt in our times right now. So many of us are spending much more time than we're used to with our families, whether that's our spouses or our kids or our parents. And we're triggered. What does it mean to be triggered? It means we're compelled, or we feel compelled to react or to act in a certain way in response to something that they do or they say. So the other person might irritate us, or they might wind us up. We may feel it is intentional, or we're just annoyed by it. It gets under our skin, and the tendency is to react. The tendency is to maybe lose our temper, or say something that we later regret. And then and then there's that silent period, or that passive aggressiveness, or there's a grudge, and then it takes time, or we feel we need to justify why we behaved like that. But I want to share with you a tool and show you that there's another way. So something you might like to practice. So let me share that tool with you now. So next time that somebody in your family or somebody you live with says something or does something that irritates you, or that annoys you, or evokes some sort of emotion in you, the first thing that I'd like you to do is simply stop. Means stop and don't react. Just catch yourself. And if you train yourself, if you remember this, you can just stop. And the next thing I'd like you to do is breathe. And when you breathe here, this is really the sacred pause. This is that special moment where nothing is done. You just breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. It doesn't have to be one breath. It might be 3 breaths, but you're just breathing. And then what I'd like you to do is notice. Notice that what this other person has said or done has evoked a reaction in you. And notice where you feel it in the body. So you might feel anger, and you might feel the anger rising up in your chest as some sort of burning sensation. There will be some physiological reaction in your body. And I'd just like you to notice it. Don't judge it. Don't change it. Just notice it. And then the next step is to reflect. And you might want to reflect on, where is this anger coming from? Is it coming from the past? Is it coming from something else that happened to me, either with this person or with somebody else? How much of this is my old emotional baggage that's coming up here? So just reflect on that. And you might also want to reflect on the fact that the other person is a human being, just like you. And just like you, this human being wants to be happy. And whatever they've said or done, they probably believe that that action is ultimately making them happy in some way, or contributing to their happiness in some way. So you might want to just put yourself in their shoes for a few seconds and see, oh, where do you think they might have been coming from? And finally, once you've reflected on your emotions and what might be happening for the other person, you can now respond. And that response may be silence, um, or it may be a valid response, something that you want to speak your mind, but in a positive way. Now you'll think how to respond to get the best positive outcome. And you might speak in a much more polite tone, or you might start by expressing your feelings when the other person did or said what they did. And your intention is positive here, and you're much more likely to have a better interaction. So next time you get triggered at home because you're all spending much more time at home, just remember this method, SBNRR, stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. And if that's difficult to remember, just think of the acronym. Just think, somebody needs rest and relaxation. That might help you to remember it. So now we're going to do a short practice. This practice is often referred to as body scan. So we'll be scanning the body from head to toe. And it's important because emotion is stored in the body. I was talking about that fear in the chest. So you might have, so I was talking about anger in the chest. You might have fear stored in your throat. You might have anxiety in your stomach. So emotion is stored in the body. And we're not trying to suppress emotion or push it down in any way. We just want to look at it with mindfulness, with kindness, with curiosity. Yeah, we want to look at it because information is contained in this emotion. Yeah, and that information can be useful for us. It can be useful, just as we did in the notice stage. It can be useful in decision making. Yeah. So let's start our practice. So you might want to find a comfortable posture where we're focused and alert at the same time, but relaxed. Might want to close our eyes or lower our gaze just a few feet in front of us. And we're going to start with taking 3 deep breaths, bringing gentle awareness to the breathing. Noticing your in and out breath and the spaces in between. Now bring your attention to the top of your head, noticing sensations or lack of sensations. And shifting your attention to the back of your head, to your ears, and then to the back of your neck. Now direct your attention to your face. Noticing your lips, mouth, gums, tongue, nose, eyes, cheek, forehead, and just relaxing the jaw. Moving your attention to your neck, shoulders, throat. A lot of emotion may manifest in the shoulders and throat. Shift attention now to the upper arms, the lower arms, hand and fingers. Now bring your attention to your upper back, then to the middle of your back and to your lower back. Our backs carry a lot of our load and store a lot of our tensions. So let's give our backs the kind attention that they deserve. Next, bring your attention to the front of your body, your chest, your stomach, and to your internal organs if possible. Sensing the lower part of your body. Notice your legs, starting with the right leg, then the left leg. Bring your attention to your feet and to your toes. Notice what it feels like for your feet to come into contact with the floor. Then bring your attention to your entire body, from the top of your head to your feet. Just noticing the whole body, noticing the breath, bringing your awareness to what it is like to be sitting here, right now. Now bring your attention back to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And let's just settle the mind there. Let's just spend a minute there, sitting quietly, noticing what it's like to be breathing, sitting, just being curious, open, noticing. Just bring your attention back gently. Open your eyes and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Thank you. Please be safe. Stay home. Yali Mudat.